You've just made money in the market, but believe it or not, you've just now entered into the most dangerous part of your personal finances. Let's talk about it here. Yeah, you heard that right. You have just made some money. So you make money and you're thinking, that's awesome. That's the hard part in the market, is actually making money, hanging on to money, all that good stuff. So when you make money, at some point in time, you're going to what? You are going to spend money. Now I realize I'm being Captain Obvious right here, but this part right here lies the big issue out there. And the issue here, and what I'm going to call the financial disaster zone. And if you think I'm being over dramatic in this, then I would encourage you to click on the link that's popping up right now. First watch the video, but then save that link. That is a podcast from episode number 8 that I did, where we talked to a trader and he found himself in this disaster zone and it took advantage of him. And I'll just put it like this without ruining the story. He was doing very, very well for himself, and then he found himself working out on an oil rig because of this stuff right here. So you make money, great. Now you want to spend some money. So maybe you have to withdraw it from your trading account. Maybe it's tied to a checking account. But the point being, you've made money, now you're going to spend it. Well, what are you going to spend it on? Well, let's just, you could spend it on bills. You could spend it on the fun stuff, right? Vacations, cars, whatever you want. Take your friends out to dinner, take your wife out to dinner. If you're being smart, then some of that is going towards some sort of retirement account. But the point being, you're going to start to allocate that money to where it needs to go. However, just because you make, to keep the math simple, $100, that does not mean, let me say that again, that does not mean you have $100 over here to spend. Why is that the case? What's going on with the financial disaster zone? Well, there's two things in life that are certain of. I can't remember who said that. Death and taxes. There are some taxes that are occurring here. So, like I said, because you make 100, after it transitions through this zone, there is not $100 left. And the best investment you can possibly make, and I don't say this to be dramatic, I really mean this, but the best investment you can make as a trader is a CPA or a tax attorney. We'll just call it a tax lawyer. Now, I'm not going to recommend anybody or anything like that, but why is that the case? Well, I have a number for you, 50. We'll just start right there. There are 50 states in the United States, and then if you're watching this from Canada or just from any place in the world, you're going to have taxes too. Now, let's just focus on the United States. So there's 50 states. What's the taxes in your state compared to where I am right now in Michigan? I don't know. But that's as far as tax advice I'm going to give you is right here. Before you even think about spending a dime of your trading profits, of your investing profits, of anything you've made in the market, you better talk to a CPA or a tax lawyer that understands trading and understands how all that works. It's critical. And again, listen to that podcast that I referred to. Somebody doing very well, but because of this whole zone here, ended up having to switch up a bunch of things in their life because they skipped over this step and they started spending the money. And like I said, I'm not going to ruin it, but listen to that podcast episode. So maybe this is something where you're thinking, duh. Well, hopefully good. But I get emails all the time asking, how do the taxes work? What should I do for taxes? And I'm not a licensed professional in any of those areas. I can't give any advice. I don't want to give any advice because, like I said, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's 50 states. So every little state may be a little bit different. The federal government's always changing this and that. So the only advice I'm going to give you is to go get advice from a professional before you spend any money. So keep that in mind when you make that gains. That is really just the tip of the iceberg, because think about it. If you are risking money, the most you can lose is that money. Okay, my money's gone, whatever. But the last thing you want to have happen is to make money, think you still have that money and spend it, and then have Uncle Sam all of a sudden knocking on your door saying, hey, you owe us some money, but that money's already gone. So a much more dangerous situation right here. So listen to that podcast and just go out there, start doing some research on CPAs, tax attorneys, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But like I said, sure, they charge more than doing something on TurboTax. I understand that. But they're a great investment because they're going to protect you and make sure you're not getting yourself into any nasty situations. If you enjoyed this video, I'd like for you to do a couple things. If you're watching this on my site, claytrader.com, click one of those share buttons up above or leave a comment below. I interact, I will read it and respond. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and leave a comment there too. I do my best to reply to all comments, and I do like to hear from people, either of the community or those maybe just passing on through. So get out there, trade without emotion, and go start to do some research on a CPA or tax lawyer if you don't already have one.